Zach, band of brothers, drew wide last time out, but that was no issue for him.
No, he had a little bit of speed on and he was able to track up and finish the race off well. You know, the distance obviously wasn't a problem, and he's still lightly raced, so you'd think he's going to continue to take benefit out of what he's done so far.
That last 200 metres, that turn of foot he showed, you must have liked that.
Yeah, he sort of just keeps galloping along. He did that at Happy Valley, and we thought the bigger track at Sha Tin was obviously going to suit him better. From the wide gate, we thought he might get too far back and it might be hard for him to win from there, but he had the pace to suit and a nice enough run, and he was obviously able to get over the top of him.
How much scope do you think he's got?
Well, he's a nice big horse, and he feels like he's going to be a miler, maybe a bit further. So whatever he's doing at the moment over these distances, I think he's going to improve on as he goes up in distance.
You mentioned before the wide gate last time out, you're drawn better in gate 7 this time. Gives you a few more options?
Yeah, I think so. He doesn't have to be right the way back like he was last time. I sort of looked to try and get in midfield if I could, but I couldn't, so I had to go a little bit further back. But he begins well enough to be able to settle midfield or thereabouts over this distance.
You come up against Sam's Love, a horse you've had quite a bit to do with. Could he be a threat in a race like this?
Oh, I've given up on him every time I ride him. He draws a wide gate and I've got to go back, and he just can't overcome that. So I wish him well, but I've had enough goes on him.
He's a nice horse, and his last win was pretty strong.
In that race, you had a beautiful barrier draw, gate number 2, but the start prior to that, things didn't work out from a wide draw. You're drawn wide again come Monday. What are your thoughts with him and how the tactics could pan out?
Well, you know, you've seen from a good draw how much speed he can have, and I think first up we definitely had to ignore that run, because from that outside gate the only thing I had to do was to push forward, and it was really not a good experience for the horse, because he of course done too much and then he stopped. So of course then he come back with a good draw, and of course he showed his ability, and I think now even he's got a outside gate, but I think he's ready for it. So I hope that second run and the win has given him confidence, and so that he can take the bad draw in his chin.
Do you have to push forward with him, or is there a bit more scope? Is he not so one-dimensional?
Well, you know, with him he's got the speed, and once you get around the first turn, then some horses they normally slow down. That's when he starts to get into more of his speed. So it's pretty difficult that I will have to bring him back from the start, because then he'll try to over race with me, because I've of course trialed him and ride him a few times, so I've got to know him. I think from that outside gate it's gonna be a little bit tricky, but I think I will have to ride the horse where I find him.
He's only had 2 starts. He's a 3-year-old. What sort of opinion do you have of him overall, Karis?
No, he's a very smart horse actually. You know, like I said, first up was just very bad experience, and of course he showed last time what he could do, how much speed he had, and he can still quicken up nicely. He's still a young horse, but I think there's still a lot of improvement to come.
Voyage warrior Karis, you crossed the line on him with a big smile on your face last time out. You obviously enjoyed that win.
Yeah, he's a little good little horse here, and of course first up many people expected him to actually go through like that. So of course he won a very good race. So it was just blessed that I could be on him.
How much more was there in the tank if you needed it?
I don't know why I pressed him actually. Well, he was actually going pretty easy, and of course I wanted to just let him know that, you know, at the 300, just to make sure that he knows that he needs to still extend when it's time to come, when time comes. And sometimes, you know, you just leave them goes canter pause the line, and next time out they goes out. When you put pressure on them, they go up and down. So I don't think these matter to him, because I think he's got a lot of ability, but there was still a bit in the tank.
Any doubts with him heading into Monday then, straight up into Class 3 after going up 14 points in the ratings?
Yeah, of course it's tough on these young horses that they goes up so quick, but of course can't complain because the way he won, and that's what you get, and we got to deal with it, and I'm pretty sure he will be able to handle it. It will be just a similar race similar way he goes last time down the straight, so it will just be a little bit, of course, more pressure maybe. So like I say, he's a nice horse. I'm sure he's gonna deal with it.
In the last month, we've seen two impressive debuts. Your horse, Voyage Warrior, and last week from Athero. I know one's a 2-year-old, one's a 3-year-old. You had a good spot looking at Athero last week, riding a runner-up. Which debut, in your opinion, was more impressive?
Oh, yeah, I thought, of course, Athero was a very good win last week, but I don't think behind him there was much. Of course, what he's done from one trial to go win like this was pretty impressive. So I'm not gonna put anything in between these two horses. Of course, they looks like they are pretty much in a line to go to carry out to go on top. So I just hope Zach stay with his one and I stick with mine. So yeah, they look pretty impressive, both of them. So I'm sure they have bright future in Hong Kong.
Ugly Warrior, Zach. A couple of unplaced efforts on the turf, but back to the dirt. Does he get his chance on Monday?
Yeah, he's definitely better suited at this distance, on this surface. Sorry. So I trialled him a week ago. His trial was okay. I was hoping for a little bit more. He didn't quite finish it off as strong as I would have liked. But in saying that, May didn't ask me to do much on him. He said to give him a quiet trial. So I don't know how much more would have been there if I gave him a squeeze. But it's a competitive race, as they all are in this class. There's going to be a bit of pressure, a bit of speed. I just have to work out where I'm going to be and, ride him accordingly.
You won on him last year in Class 3. He's gone from a 3-year-old to a 4-year-old. From sitting on him in that trial, what other differences have you noted with him?
Not a lot, really. I thought he would have strengthened up a little bit, but he doesn't seem to have done that. So he's pretty much a very similar horse to what I rode before, but his ability's got him to where he's got to, and hopefully there's a little bit more left in the tank.